Okay, welcome back to your English class. Today I'm going to explain you what is present perfect in affirmative form, just affirmative form. We use this English tense to talk about experiences, things that are still going or have stopped recently and they are still relevant on our present. We have, for example, I have done USA and he has been to amusement park. Now, present perfect, it's similar like simple past, but the difference between present perfect and simple past is that present perfect starts in the past but is still relevant, it is still happening in present, okay? And simple past is an action that stopped, finished, and you can repeat, okay? We have two examples. I have gone to USA and she has been to amusement park. Now, it's very important that you need to know that in present perfect we have two auxiliaries. We have or has, depending on the subject, plus the verb in past participle, gone or been. Now, what about your structure? You have structure first person. But who is first person? I, you, we, they, plus have. You have the structure. Your subject, I, you, we, they, plus have, plus the verb in past participle, and a complement. You have, I have run in a marathon. We have drunk green tea. They have written a book. Now it's very important that don't forget auxiliary have and the verb in past participle. Drunk, written. Now, what is structure in third person? Structure, but who is third person? He, she, it, plus has. You have your subject, he, she, it, plus has, plus the verb in past participle, plus a complement. For example, she has played volleyball, he has eaten insects, and it has slept in the street. Don't forget to write your auxiliary and the verb in past participle, played, eaten, or slept. Now, I have a verb list that it's quite important that you need to practice. Now, as you can see, you have the columns infinitive, past simple, past participle, and meanings. They are in Spanish. Okay. Now, the most important part for this tense it's the past participle. That is the blue column. Okay, the blue column. Now, I'm going to tell you what is the correct pronunciation for each verb, and the idea is at home you need to practice. How could you say it? You can say, for example, appeared, paid, been able, made, stolen, hath, kept, pot, seen, sold, lost, thought, felt, agreed, believed, told, belonged, got, said, spoken, understood, said, learned, bought, meant, thrown, soon, grown, forgotten, fought, boiled, fried, mix, poured, stirred, arrived, sworn, stopped, drunk, gone, ridden, driven, taken, written, read, known, looked, come, drawn, found, sung, given, light, sent, coughed, won, done, dreamt, flown, eaten, disappeared, slept, been, met, run, served, lent, sponsored, raised, draft. Don't forget, in present perfect you have to use these verbs. Now, moreover about this topic, in English for present perfect we have two different words that will help you to identify more about this English tense. We have the word for and since. But what is about? We use for when we have talking about a period of time. Okay, period of time. For example, we have the word 3 years. It's a period of time. They are specific. So we have to use for. She has lived in London for 3 years. Now, what about since? We use since when we are talking about the start of the period, when we have a date. For example, 2005. She has lived in London since 2005. When we have dates or days, maybe months, you have to write since and for a period of time. Now, here we have 5 sentences, and the idea is you have to complete them. The first lines, they are you have to add auxiliary have or has depending on the subject and the verb that it's highlighted in yellow in past participle. And in the next lines you have to write since or for, depending is it a period of time or a date. I'm going to leave you some time and then we're going to check what would be the right answers. Okay, here we go. I want to check. We have number 1. Nick has known. Why has? Nick is he. It's third person. Nick has known Tom since he moved to London. We have know in past participle, known. Since he moved to London. He moved to London. It's a finished action. It's a date. That's why we use since. Number 2. Mrs. Harris has been a teacher for 12 years. Now, why has? Because Mrs. Harris, it's she. She is the third person. And the verb be. In past participle, been. Mrs. Harris has been a teacher 12 years. Period of time, for 12 years. Number 3. Felix, he has lived. We have the verb live. Live is regular verb. So you have to write lived. Live in Edinburgh since 1988. Now we have the word since. Since it's for dates. Don't forget that. 4. We have had a DVD player since February. Now, have in past participle, hath. We have had. Why have? Because we, it's first person. We have had a DVD player since February. We don't have period. It's a month. Okay? That's what we use since. And the last one, 5. I have played in the school football team for 5 months. Now, I, the verb played in past participle, played, because it's a regular verb. I have played in a school football team 5 months. For, because a period of time, 4 months. Don't forget, since, dates, months, etc. or period of time, 4. Now, and the idea is you have to write these exercises. They are 10 sentences, and you have to complete the first lines. You have to add the auxiliary have or has, depending on the subject, plus the verb in brackets into past participle, lose, eat, work, study, play, see, visit, cry, get, have in past participle. And on the second lines you have to write maybe for or since. If you have a period of time, for. If you have a date, since. Okay, that's all about this part from the explanation. Thank you so much.